Greetings and salutations. Saturday we were out exploring at the Noonsday camp there in over by Tacopa, and we came home through Shoshone, and this is the little town of Shoshone. And at the end of the video, I'll talk a little bit about all these buildings in this town of Shoshone and where they came from. But I'm standing in probably the oddest cemetery I've ever been to in my life. And the reason it's odd is because it's built into these hills, these caliche clay hills. I like this one. I told you I was sick. Hey, none of us gets out alive. Might as well have a sense of humor about it. And then this one. Founder of the Data Enterprises at China Ranch. I'll take you to China Ranch one of these days. A little oasis out in the middle of the desert, not too far from those mines. This little cemetery here isn't what drew my attention. About a month ago when I took the kids for a little drive out in the desert, and we came this way, and I noticed these split rail fences, which are relatively new. Saw a car going up this road. I have to swing up there and see what's up that road. So we pulled in here. It was getting a little bit too dark to take any video, but let me show you what I found. It's kind of interesting and kind of quirky. I think it might be interesting to you. Alright, so we got this little trail here. You can go ahead, pause and read that if you're so inclined. This is called Dublin Gulch. In this hill here, there's more graves. Some more graves, some more graves, and some more graves. And then the graveyard ends. And the real interesting part begins. Check this out. It's the refrigerator. Wow. Bring my fridge. It's dark. That goes back there pretty far. Damn it, I didn't bring a flashlight. Son of a bitch. Wait a minute, yeah I did. Wow. Cool, this goes back here quite a ways. I don't want to go in there and get hantavirus. Don't see no bats. Goes back there about 30 feet.
Okay. Thank you for
dark in there. Oh, this one's huge. So obviously these doors have been refitted, you know, recently, like in the last few years, but check this out. This one at one time had hardwood floors. Got a tin in here. There's a stovepipe. You come in here. I guess this would be considered a parlor. Front door. There's another room. Got support timber in the middle of it. And there was a stovepipe there. And if you listen, you can hear the wind. Yeah. So there was, you know, a potbelly stove or something here. A little dugout for some curios. There's a door down to another level. All right. Interesting, they got wedges in that crack, that fault line. My daughter and my oldest son came down here with me. It's kind of fun. They have these little steps here in the sandstone. And then here's a little cubby. Another stovepipe. There had been a fireplace in here for all I know. And this is another chamber. Some old bed springs in here. Oh, these look like seats out of a car though. There's a window into it. Here's the door. It's locked. About 8 feet high inside. And these two are connected as well. There's a little doorway over yonder. The fireplace. That one you can actually see the soot. And one over here that's more than likely a garage. A little spot up there for some tools and whatnot. You know, it's dug out so you could back in like a flatbed truck or something. Like a flatbed truck. Certainly tall enough. It's like 9-10 feet. And a privy. And tool holder. You got a little spot here for a wood stove. There's the stovepipe. There's another stovepipe. They probably had a central cast iron stove in here. Looks like they might have started to put something like cupboards or something in there. There's another stovepipe. That's plugged. You know, they might have had an old wood cooking stove back here, and then you just left this one with for a potbelly stove. And a little dugout over here for, I don't know, sleeping quarters. Pretty small. You know, miners are gonna do what miners are gonna do. They're good at digging holes in the ground. You're comfortable working underground. Well, wouldn't you? Comfortable living underground. This one goes back the main hallway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paces, about 15 feet. And it's just one room about 10 feet by 5 feet. There's no stovepipes in here. Wow, pretty neat. You got the museum, bar and cafe, sheriff's department, post office, and the Chevron at Chaz Brown Company Market. The original buildings in Shoshone, like the museum, which was originally a service station, and the cafe, and I think even the sheriff's building, and there's a couple of small houses along that same side of the road. Those buildings came from another town. And I learned about this from a book that I got in Death Valley called Death Valley SUV Trails by Roger Mitchell. I'll put a link down in the description, or maybe a card up in the corner to Amazon where you can buy this if you want to. If you're ever considering going on any of Death Valley's extensive off-road roads, this is probably the definitive guide. It's full of the history of some of these places, GPS coordinates, and just point by point how to get to these different areas. And in chapter 5, Trails Out of Shoshone, the author writes this: Borax Smith's Tonopah Tidewater Railroad started laying its rails northward from Ludlow in 1905. The construction crews finally broke through the formidable barrier presented by the Amargosa Gorge in the spring of 1907. A station was established in Tacopa in early May, and soon thereafter a siding was placed at what is now Shoshone. However, it would not be until 3 years later that Ralph J. "Dad" Fairbanks partially dismantled many of the wooden structures, because wood was hard to find in the desert, in the abandoned town of Greenwater, and transported them there by wagon. Thus, it's been said, if you wish to see downtown Greenwater, come to Shoshone. Metbury Spring, near the siding, provides sufficient water to support a large grove of mesquite trees, as well as the needs of a small community. And soon Dad and his wife, Celesta, established a boarding house that catered to passengers on the railroad and local miners alike, as well as a store of general merchandise. On October 29, 1910, Ma and Pa Fairbanks' daughter Stella married Charles Brown, starting a family legacy that persists in this remote corner of Inyo County to this day. In fact, I think it's Dad Fairbanks' granddaughter or great-granddaughter still owns the town. So thanks for taking the time to watch this little video. I hope it was entertaining and informative. If it wasn't, give me a thumbs down. If it was, give me a thumbs up. Either way works with me. And as always, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep your powder dry, and have a splendid day. So I don't know if we can find Greenwater, but we can find a competing town that was abandoned about the same time, Gold Valley. Do a little bit of research. What do you think? You want to go? I think we should go. Heck, we got a Jeep. Might as well.